each of us has the constitutional right to practice our religion as we see fit. Today, we shall be conducting a formal investigation into Buddhism for our moral studies class. And we chose Buddhism because it has such a rich history, and yet very few in Malaysia actually understand its tenets. It is also often confused with Taoism, and we feel that it has not been given sufficient emphasis on the way it is practiced here in Malaysia. Today, we shall be visiting the Maha Vihara Buddhist temple, and I formally invite each and every one of you to join us on our journey in gaining a better understanding of Buddhism.
Ulacaren, ulacaren, usume, usumawa, reini mini jiti tohara mapanaya showa.
The Mahavihara temple was founded by Sri Lankans back in 1895. They had come to Malaysia to work as railway workers. This temple was built to serve as a place of worship and as a place of gathering here in Brickfields, Kuala Lumpur. At the time, there stood on this land a bodhi tree, which has great significance to Buddhism, as we shall be learning later in this study. Now this is a replica of the Asoka pillar, which would sound familiar to those of you who had actually paid attention in your sejarah classes. Now what you would not know is that 300 years after the death of Siddhartha Gautama, the Muslims in India had destroyed many buildings and stamped out many Buddhist practices. It was Emperor Asoka who took the initiative to seek out the holy places of Buddhism and cause a pillar to be erected in each place. And carved upon each pillar were the key details of his search. And these pillars were also meant to spread the word of Buddhism in India. Emperor Asoka later embraced Buddhism and was key in promoting Buddhism in India. Buddhism was founded 2,500 years ago by an Indian prince called Siddhartha Gautama. Born into the royal family in northern India, he grew up in the lap of wealth and luxury. Eventually, he realized that these things were not enough to guarantee happiness, and deeply moved by the sufferings of the people he saw around him, he set out on a journey of enlightenment. After 6 years of study and meditation, he finally experienced a moment in which all ignorance fell away. This experience made him known as the Buddha, the awakened one. And it happened while he was sitting underneath a bodhi tree. In fact, this bodhi tree which stands before me was grown from a sapling taken from the original bodhi tree under which Buddha found enlightenment.
The foundations of Buddha's teaching rest upon 4 noble truths. The first noble truth is that life is suffering. To live, you must suffer. It is impossible to live without experiencing some kind of suffering. We have to endure physical suffering like sickness, injury, tiredness, old age, and eventually death. And we have to endure psychological sufferings like loneliness, frustrations, fear, embarrassment, disappointment, anger, and etc. The second noble truth is that all suffering is caused by craving. In other words, the second noble truth says that getting what you want does not guarantee happiness. Rather than constantly struggling to get what you want, try to modify your desires. Desires deprive us of contentment and happiness. The third noble truth is that suffering can be overcome and happiness attained. This is perhaps the most important of the 4 noble truths because in it, the Buddha reassures us that true happiness and contentment are possible. And finally, the 4th noble truth is the path leading to the overcoming of suffering. This path is called the Noble Eightfold Path and consists of perfect understanding, perfect thought, perfect speech, perfect action, perfect livelihood, perfect effort, perfect mindfulness, and perfect concentration. Buddhism teaches its follower a set of moral practice, that is, the 5 precepts. The 5 precepts are the basis of Buddhist morality. The first precept is to avoid killing or harming living beings. The second is to avoid stealing. The third is to avoid sexual misconduct. The fourth is to avoid lying. And the fifth is to avoid alcohol and other intoxicating drugs. A refuge is a place where people go when they are distressed or when they need safety and security. There are many types of refuges. When people are unhappy, they take refuge in their friends. When they are worried and frightened, they might take refuge in false hopes and beliefs. As they approach death, they might take refuge in the belief of an eternal heaven. But, as the Buddha says, none of these are true refuges, because they do not give comfort and security based on reality. Buddhism offers the most satisfactory explanation of where man came from and where he is going, the process of reincarnation. When we die, the mind, with all the tendencies, preferences, abilities, and characteristics that have been developed, reestablishes itself in the fertilized egg. Thus the individual grows, reborns, and develops a personality conditioned both by the mental characteristics that have been carried over and by the new environment which he experiences now. The personality will change and be modified by conscious effort and conditioning factors like education, parental influence, and society. This process of dying and being reborn will continue until the condition that caused it, which are craving and ignorance, ceases to exist. And when they do, instead of being reborn, the mind attains a state called nirvana.
Aside from the different image styles, each culture also has different practices, different color robes, different headdresses, different practices. But although these different sects of Buddhism may seem outwardly very different, at the center of all is the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Paths. These different sects have never gone to war with each other. They have never shown hostility to each other, and they always go to each other's temples to worship. Such understanding and tolerance is what Buddhism is all about.
Sariputta, between Sariputta and Moggallana, okay? Who more powers in terms of intelligence? Sorry, but
If I had known this accident would have happened, I could have just helped him across the road. He did not cross the road fast enough, that is why he slipped, he fell, and he got hit by the car. If I had been there, he would not have died. Look at the conclusions that he was in. The thing has happened already. You cannot do anything about it. You have to get up, walk, and live. That's all.
please be seated. Very good afternoon. Today, our references are a bit busy, but we have our brothers and sisters from Taylor's College. They would like to know what we do every day here, every Sunday here for puja. Give them a big round of applause. Okay, let us chant all together.
One year. Homage to the Buddha. Please say 3 times Namo Tassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
In my heart, may the Sangha and my son to protect and guide me always. Sadhu.
Now, according to Buddhist belief, Yes?
What are you doing here? I thought you're supposed to be hosting.
I'm hosting right now.
Right now?
Right now?
Okay, anyway, tell me what have you found out about Buddhism?
What have you found out so far?
Oh, me? Ho, ho, ho. I'm going to interview the priest at about 3:30.
Oh, 3:30. It's 3:30 right now.
Says who?
Says I.
Oh my god, I mean, Dai, pronto, pronto.
Joe, let me. Hey, hey.
Because we have all heard about Buddhism and everything, and some say it's not actually, it's more like a philosophy rather than a religion. So I'm just wondering, will you explain to us what Buddhism is actually?
Okay, actually, when we think about the religion, the compare with the other religions, they have something like some sort of gods. But the Buddha, he has his teaching. He was born to this world as a human being, and he himself, through his own practice, he is realized what is life. So then he preached. So this is a philosophy.
It's a philosophy incorporated into
Yeah.
a religion.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you very much. And I've heard there are some overlapping between Taoism, Hinduism and Buddhism, because like from the Yang Asuka thing, it's also from the Hindu sort of, it's from like an Indian, from the Indian side. Can you clarify any difference between that?
Okay. The Buddhism was started from India.
Oh, I see.
Buddha was born in India.
I thought it was from Chinese or something
No.
like that.
Buddha was born in India, and then after that, when Buddhism is spread to different countries, those countries they have the different practices. Like even before Buddha was born to India, already Hinduism was existing. And he was not Buddhist that time. And then Buddhism, when Buddhism goes to the China, in China already existing the Taoism and Confucianism. And so then Buddhism goes to China, he managed to adapt to the Chinese culture. Together with the Taoist practices, but it's nothing to do with the Taoist practices and Buddhism. But when Buddhism goes to China, they manage to already adapt according to that time culture and tradition. So even today, most of the people in Malaysia, especially Malaysia, the Chinese community, when they born to this world, in the birth certificate they used to call Ugama Buddha, Buddhism, they are Buddhist. But actually their generation can be Taoist or Confucian. But still they used to put the Buddhism. So most of them, they don't know anything about the Buddhism. No basic knowledge about the Buddhism.
Because everything's like mixed up.
Mixed together, yeah. That's why it's easy to, for the Chinese community to accept the Buddhism, because all can go together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Thank you very
But
much.
mostly all these rites and rituals are different.
The rites and rituals are like mainly from Buddhism itself, or
No, it is
a mixture?
a mixture. It comes from the Taoism and Confucianism already existed.
Oh, I see.
So that's why sometimes they can be Taoist some practices, but they say Buddhist practice. Those who doesn't know about Buddhism, they think that is Buddhist practice. Actually not really, that is Taoist practices.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
And my next question will be about some overlapping of theories in Hinduism and Buddhism, like the karma theory and the reincarnation. Can you explain what is it actually, and why is there some overlapping?
It is not the overlapping. It is this Hinduism also they believe cause and effect, karma. Karma in Sanskrit, karma is Pali word. So it is not really belong to the Hinduism or Buddhism. This is universal. if we know how to use our brain to think, so we can analyze we can analyze the what is what you call good, what is bad. You know, definitely if we do bad things, definitely we get the bad result. You can kill somebody. So what will happen? Police come arrest you, people will curse you, and then they put you in the jail. That is within this lifetime. Same time, same thing, the next life also will affect. Same way, if you do good things, so while you are driving, if you happen to be one small children want to cross the road and quite quickly you stop and put one side, child or animal or something. So people will praise you. A good children, a good girl, she saved somebody's life, like that. So if you do bad things, definitely you get a bad result. And if you do good things, definitely you get a result. So Hinduism and Buddhism both highlight this fact. So both religions, they highlight cause and effect. But only like other faith, they everything leave it to the gods. So you do bad things, they might God can forgive you. But there's no such thing, definitely one day. Yeah. So I believe you are about 20 years old.
I'm not 20, I'm only 70.
70? Anyway, at least by right you should know what is bad, what is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you know what is the result you get it.
Because indirectly you also feel subconscious and everything that you're doing something bad. Yeah.
Exactly. Today, he can go and kill somebody and then police arrest. And then after that, by right, he's supposed to go into the jail or hang. But then, so what will happen? If someone go and pay money, release him. But although temporarily he released from jail or prison, but here is still subconscious. I can tell you, although we cannot consider it is a bad karma, but psychologically myself personally affected. What happened when I was young in the Man's College? Man's College. There was during lunchtime, outside cat come and always jump into the table and simply eat makan. And so what happened one day, I thought, I catch this cat and put into pail, the bucket and cover. So after we finish our makan, our food, so then we release the cat. So by thinking that, so I catch the cat and put in the pail cover and we carry on our lunch. But unfortunately, I have forgotten. So I remember about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and go and open, lifetime, sleep already, die. But I did not have any intention to kill. So I didn't have intention to kill, I did not kill, so I don't get the bad karma. But psychologically, myself affected thinking. Even now, although it happened to be 30-40 years ago, until now, still from the subconscious mind, I feel guilty myself. So still I can remember. Same way, if whoever do the bad things, their mind, they cannot hide from mind, or again the karma cannot escape.
Yeah, okay, that's very meaningful, thank you. And I would like to ask about reincarnation, because if I'm not mistaken, it's under the Buddhism part of the theory and something. I'm just wondering about the significance of the reincarnation.
It's rebirth, we call rebirth. And until we attain enlightenment, we believe, life after life we rebirth. There are 31 planes of existence. Afterward I give you one book and you can read and refer to that. It can be a human being, it can be a Deva world or animal world or spirit world. All again depend on the cause and effect, karma. So that's why we always encourage people to do good things. So normally we used to tell, if you want to continue the next journey, you must try to accumulate the good things, good karma. And that is the only thing you can take along. We come to this world, we come with empty hand, but only previous life, whatever we have done, according to good karma or bad karma, will be born to this life. And again, to continue next journey, according to what we have accumulated, so good or bad. That's the only thing we can continue, carry on.
Okay, I see. Thank you very much.
So, according to our good karma or bad karma, we will reborn. Either it's a human world or Deva world or animal world. So there are 31 places of existence. So maybe you can refer it.
Okay, I'll refer to that afterwards, okay? And it's just I'm just wondering, because for, let's say, Islam, they have their Al-Quran as their own holy scripture, and Christians, they have their Bible as their own holy scripture. How about Buddhism?
Buddhists actually, although we don't have the Bible or Quran, because our teaching side is very huge, we call the Tripitaka. And Tripitaka consists of sutta, the mean discourses. Then Abhidharma, deep teaching. And then again Vinaya, the mean disciplines course. So, but although it's very huge, but normally we let public to refer, like Dhammapada book. Most of the good sayings of the Buddha, you can refer to the Dhammapada book. So otherwise, we don't have such book like Bible or Quran, because it's very huge. So we call three baskets.
Three baskets?
They mean we call the sutra mean discourses. Vinaya mean discipline codes. Then Abhidharma, deep teaching. Deep is a bit difficult to understand. So this is all concept of we call Tripitaka.
It's all compiled into one sort of. It's not really a scripture, but it's like some sort of something you refer to, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I heard that Buddhists, they like to count the beads and burn incense. Any moral significance behind that? Okay.
Burning incense is actually the impermanency. It's just like we want to concentrate on meditation. We take it like our body. The incense look nice smell, but slowly, once we light up, slowly burn, in the end finish. Same way, our body also will decay. And the seed we count, that is just for meditation purpose. Easy for us to concentrate.
So the burning of incense is to symbolize the decaying of the body, is it?
Yeah. Impermanence.
Okay. So I'm just wondering, because the monks and they chant mantras, right? Any meaning in the mantras?
Not mantras, sutras.
Sutras.
Yes, of course. Every sutras, we have the meaning. If you know the meaning, you get more benefit. More meaningful, more benefit. And instead of just like so we must know the meaning.
Okay, so about for Buddhist people, those who worship Buddhism, are there actually like idol worshippers because they have a figure over them when you pray, isn't it?
They are not idol worshippers. That is just the wrong word we use. We respect.
Respect. It's a sort of respect.
Just easy for us to concentrate. Even those statues, we have the Buddha or Punyam, or we take Buddha statue. You take Buddha temple, you take from the China one, like Chinese figure come out. From Thailand, Thai figure come out. Sri Lanka, India, so Japan is Japanese face like that. So none of us, we haven't seen through our own eyes Buddha. But with Buddha's qualities and what we have heard about Buddha icon, that we imaging, and then we create the Buddha statue. Our artists.
It's particularly like Christianity as well, because we perceive Jesus as like different races. For like Chinese, they think of Jesus is more like Chinese-like features. I think it's the same with Buddhism.
Right? So we are not praying to those statues. We are respecting, honoring.
I get it now. And my next question will be like, do Buddhists actually worship any omnipresent God? Because from what I've read through, some Siddhartha Gautama did not declare himself as a god actually.
No. Right?
So I'm just wondering, is there any like omnipresent God that Buddhists worship?
Only present?
Omnipresent. That means like present on this world, or that the Buddhists worship.
Buddhists worship as a God, the Buddha.
Yeah. Is there any sort of like a specific God that the Buddhists worship?
Oh, they actually, we call Devas. Not, we don't call God. Okay, it's simple, not capital G, simple G, God. Okay. This is actually they depend on how you're like, even like Chinese. So the Chinese, they have Tope Kong, Tai Kong, Kang Kong, and Chai Kong, or so many. That is also, they call them as the God as the people. This is different, how it comes from which country, which culture. So, for example, you are as a Buddhist, you go to Buddhist temple and pay respect. At the same time, you follow your grandma or grandfather or mother to those temples also. Tapekon temple, Chaikon temple, you can pay respect. So that is traditionally.
It's a tradition that is carried on now, is it? From what I've known in general, monks are allowed to ask for money either by donation or by selling amulets, right?
No.
No, they're not allowed to. So for those, forgive me by saying, because sometimes when I go to the market, I see a monk carrying a thing. Is that a form of donation or?
Well, this is unfortunately
a misuse of
this, no bogus monk. They are not the genuine monk.
So that means monks are not allowed to do any of that.
The begging bowl we carry for the food. Not asking for the money.
So
but this nowadays, syndicate people, they make use temporarily, they wear this one and go and collect the alms. Just like even nowadays, the people, they take the beggars also, take one side or to be by car or van, put them into one side, and after collecting the money, evening go and pass them back. Same way. So now, unfortunately, I'm very sorry to say, from Thailand, because our neighbors is Thailand. So those Thai border people also, I just simply wear the robes, bring them and collect the evening. and evening send them back. Again the ladies also wearing white color, this thing. And now recently again from mainland China also, so-called monks start to go and collect money, and the same time they give the string and exchange. So you try to give them my food, they want to accept, but we are not allowed that. Begging bowls is supposed to be collect alms, food.
So in Japanese, how to say, what we see now is actually some of them are not real monks.
No, Buddhist monk.
I see. Okay, thank you very much. So I've heard there's this saying, in order to become a monk, you have to abandon your social roles, your social roles. Would you like to explain anything on that?
Well, in order to become a monk, not the social mean, our responsibilities. If you are family man, family person, so you must know your wife can afford to support her lifetime continue, children. Then all you borrow money from Halong at a few thousand, $100,000 in order to come escape from that. You come and become a monk and then no. So all this problem you must settle before you renounce. We call renounce.
So you need to some sort of cleanse yourself first in a way, as in like spiritually cleanse yourself to become a monk, renounce your evil deeds or something like that.
Not to say the evil deeds, their responsibilities. Our responsibility. If I am as a layman, if I married, I got children, I simply walk away, it's too troublesome, I can't become a monk. Because I have my responsibility, my duty towards the wife and children. So, make sure before I renounce or become a monk, I must arrange everything properly in order to become a monk. Otherwise, when they are keep on suffering, who is responsible? I am responsible. And that's why, so you must reduce all these responsibilities, and then come and then you spend some time to learn the Dhamma. After that, you can become one.
Okay, thank you very much. So I have this last question about, have you heard about the saffron revolution in Myanmar last year? Just wondering, would you like to comment anything about that?
Okay, being Myanmar is a Buddhist country, but fortunately or unfortunately, the government happened to be the army government, and the country people, were suffering economically and many various ways. And being a Buddhist country, the lay people always looking for the monks to lead. They teach as the monks as the teachers. So, what they have done, their feelings and whatever they are facing, when they go and inform the monks and manage to convince this monk to come forward and explain to the government. So they have become a religious leader as well as the community leader. So they try to voice out on behalf of the community. But unfortunately, the things happen so very bitter. People, the government also go and kill many monks and beat the monks. So all these things. But we fighting or quarreling or war, we must not go. But to protect ourselves, we can go. So the monks, the Myanmar, they went to protect generally for the monks, Buddhists, as well as for the community.
Thank you very much for the
Okay.
explanation. I've learned about a lot throughout the interview, so I think it's the end now. So thanks a lot for
Okay,
your cooperation.
anything let me know. Huh?
Okay, sure.
Wish you good luck. You must study hard. Huh?
Yes.
Huh?
Have you ever wondered why the lotus flower has such significance to Buddhism? It symbolizes the life of the Buddha. Just as the lotus flower rises above the mud and dirty water, and yet is in itself so pure and beautiful, the Buddha rose above this chaotic society to become a force of good and inspiration for generations to come. And now we have reached the end of our study. And do keep in mind that whatever religion you believe in, no religion is better than all others. We all strive for the same thing, to be good people, and only the path we take differ. I hope our journey has been as fun and educational for you as it has been for us. Thank you. The Mahavihara temple was founded by Sri Lankans. Sorry?
Let's see where's Josephine. Josephine?
Go, say hi.